Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this live stream program are those of the speakers, guests, experts and/or hosts, and they do not explicitly nor necessarily reflect nor represent to hosts and page's policies position. The page cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this live stream program. Parental guidance, viewers' discretion is advised.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Ice.
Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. Na-miss ko kayo. Na-miss ko kayo. Good evening po. Good evening po sa lahat po. Na-miss ko kayo. Ayan. Magandang gabi po sa lahat ng tao sa buong mundo ang nakakanood ng live ngayon at recorded later. So, yan. Welcome back to ISP Talk Show.
And sobrang blessed natin tonight, guys, because we have someone who will really share her journey about anxiety and also depression. And lalo na during this time of pandemic, ang daming mga pinagdadaanan ang bawat isa sa atin. And it will be timely for us really to talk about this in the open and really to share her experience as well also our own experiences as well, no? Para at least people, our viewers could relate with us and somehow we could help them. Matulungan natin sila kung ano man yung mga pinagdadaanan nila, di ba? Parang yes. Kung 'di ba kung may mga ririnig tayo, di ba? Parang gets ko yung pinagdadaanan niya. Yan din exactly yung pinagdadaanan ko. Miss EJ, di ba at some point may mga pinagdaanan ka din na parang anxiety, depression, and it might be a different reason, but somehow if every one of us talagang na-experience yung ganong point ng buhay natin. Kylie, share a little bit with you.
Yan, meron.
Year 2019 yun yung parang meron akong feeling na lungkot na hindi ko siya ma-determine kung saan siya nanggagaling. Yung naiiyak ako na mukha na talaga akong yung hindi ko na alam yung gagawin ko bakit. Parang question, bakit ako nakakaramdam ng ganito? Wala naman akong alam na pinagmulan. And then, naka-experience din ako ng postpartum depression na after kumanganak. So, hindi siya dapat na ginagawang biro sa panahon ngayon. Kung meron sila nararamdaman na lungkot, na hindi nila alam kung saan nagmumula, mas magandang mag-seek sila ng help or makinig sa mga ganito, sa sa mga talks, sa mga may experiences, at sa mga maraming maibibigay na mga advices and tips para malagpasan nila yung stage na yun ng buhay nila.
Ang galing. Ang galing ng sinabi ko si CJ, no? And most probably si Nelson din. May mga pwede din i-share, ibahagi na konting experience lang about this particular stage sa buhay natin na naka-experience tayo ng mga depression, anxiety for so many reasons. It might be because of stress of work. It might be because of some relationships that we experience with other people in the family, in loved ones, and some people that really matters to us. And it might be the cause hurt or pain in our heart. And it might be some reasons that really lead us to some feeling of being depressed and being anxious. It might not work, it might going to, parang ganon. May mga ganong mga pinagdadaanan tayo bawat isa. Bro, it might be to have something you can share to our viewers.
Okay. So, sa akin naman, syempre naman kapag pag hindi mo naranasan yung mga ganung bagay, syempre, ibig sabihin wala kang problema. So, ibig sabihin parang hindi ka tao. So, hindi ka tao kapag hindi mo pinagdadaanan ng mga ganung bagay. So, syempre, sa side ko naman, syempre, may mga, syempre, within tao tayo, meron tayong mga relationships, like, relationship sa pamilya, relationship sa trabaho, relationship sa love, gano'n. So, pag merong disappointment, pag may disappointment at may mga problems, syempre apektado tayo. Oo, kasi mahal natin eh. So, ngayon, pag yun, minsan dumadaan tayo sa depression, parang hindi ka in the mood, parang lagi kang natutulog sa bahay na lang, buong maghapon. Matulog na lang eh. Oo, tapos ang bigat-bigat ng katawan mo sa umagang-umaga.
Gusto mo na matapos na yung araw na.
Oo. Mga ganung bagay, bro. So, napagdaanan ko rin yun.
Yeah. I think we could all relate into that, no? Kasi you mentioned kanina, di ba? Lahat tayo ay tao and then hindi ka tao kung hindi mo napagdaanan yan. Siguro mahirap lang talaga mag-acknowledge or maybe we're not aware that what we're experiencing is exactly what we define as depression or anxiety. And tonight, we're so blessed and privileged because we have someone who has her real experience talaga. Really, this anxiety and depression for long years. And eventually, those breakdowns moments, she turned it to breakthroughs. She became a very inspiring speaker in all those universities. And she also became really a mental health advocate. So, let's have this short video for our viewers to have this idea lang kung sino yung i-introduce natin in a while. Okay?
Yes, roll the clip, bro. Welcome natin yung special guest natin, si Miss Chelsea Verzosa. Hello, Miss Chelsea.
Hi, Miss Chelsea. Hindi natin siya narinig.
So excited to be here. We were talking about this for like 4 weeks, right? Yeah, and we had a lot of rescheduling. So here we are finally having this show and this interview. I'm so excited to be here.
Wow. Miss Chelsea, we are so glad to have you tonight, and really our pleasure to have this opportunity that we could ask some questions from you. I asked some questions that somehow we could inspire people out there who are uh, viewing us online, no, your personal experience about anxiety and depression. And first and foremost, we'd like to really honor you for this courage and really the courage to share this experience. No? Hindi madali, ano? But we are sure na it's a long process that somehow you decided really I could make a difference to so many people out there by using your own experience about anxiety and depression. Yeah, so thank you so much, Miss Chelsea. Ano. Guys, we could really ask questions kay Miss Chelsea and somehow also we will also connect with our audience online para if may mga questions sila, pwede sila mag-engage, pwede sila magtanong, pwede sila mag-discuss together with us. You are part with us, guys, and we can also acknowledge your presence that you are, mga comments nyo online. Yun!
Yun,
We're so
pwede po kayo
excited,
mag-comments.
and
Yeah.
CJ and Nelson, you can start to ask questions.
Yes, bro. Medyo yung background song, background yung music, bro.
Sorry.
Baka antukin kami, Marlon, dun sa sarap nung music na pinapatugtog mo ngayon.
Yan.
Medyo lesson mo lang ng konti.
Ayan. Okay. Miss Chelsea, unahan ko na kasi para at least meron tayong pang icebreaker. Ano po talaga yung ibig sabihin ng mental health?
Oh, well, mental health, according to, wait, I just want to make sure, like a disclaimer, okay? I'm only speaking by experience. I am not a mental health professional. I just graduated psychology, and since I have a lot of experience, this is why I am able to speak. And also, it's from experience. So this is my story, okay? So I just want you to know. I love to educate people. So your question is, what is mental health? Mental health, according to World Health Organization, is how are we able to cope with everyday stressors of life. So it's like kung paano tayo, how we're able to understand, how do we manage the stress, everyday activities. That is what mental health is about. Kaya mental health, everyone has mental health.
Interesting.
How did you, Miss Chelsea, parang how did you first experience having an anxiety and depression? What does it feels like having those experiences? It might be some of the few are parang misunderstood those experience. Maybe they just feel some sort of sadness. And what is really the boundary of this sadness that we could really define it? Oh my God, what I'm exactly experiencing is really depression or anxiety.
Okay. So well, mine started when I was a kid, maybe about 10 years old. I already started showing signs of like anxiety. The anxiety that started is like when I used to hair pull, or and also nail
Mm.
biting. So whenever like as even when we were younger, or you see kids nowadays, or even before during our time, we nail bite or we pull our hair. So that's a sign of nervousness. Even like when we're having exams, the we're having sweaty palms,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
can't sleep more. So it actually will develop. So like for anxiety, it's extreme nervousness, but then and it's like you cannot do everything, you cannot do your daily activities anymore. Like for example, you have a exam the next day. You won't be able to sleep the whole night because you're so nervous, and sometimes you get like total mental block even if you totally reviewed for the exam. So that's how anxiety felt like for me. And for depression, um, everyone feels sadness because there's like a level of sadness, and then it goes higher to depression.
Mm-mm.
So sadness is a normal feeling for everyone. But if your sadness like gets prolonged for more than 2 weeks, na parang it's like I don't feel like myself anymore. Like what Mom CJ said earlier, na it's like she can't do her everyday stuff anymore. That's when you may need to have yourself checked by a mental health professional. So that's why we need to talk to mental health professionals. And we need to establish the borderline of like emotional, or like having the emotions and being clinically diagnosed by a professional.
With regards to mental health professional, Miss Chelsea, ang specific ba niyan is yung psychiatrist?
Actually, no. That's what people
Oh,
always think. That's a
yo.
misconception of people.
Mm.
When we say yes, like a mental health professional, we have our life coaches, diba? Yung mga personality development. These people are trained, um, they are trained and they have experience to help you boost your mood, to boost your confidence, to boost your motivation for you to
Yeah.
go for your goals. So you can talk to these people. But for you to be diagnosed, or maybe when you go to like a psychiatrist, when you visit them once or even twice, they may not even label you with any disorder. They can just tell you that maybe you need to come back to me again and again because you just need to vent out all your emotions. Kasi sometimes you don't need medicine. Eh. It goes hand in hand, but sometimes you will get better when you just talk to someone. Kaya we always want
Yeah.
to talk to
Yeah.
people. So you don't need to go to a psychiatrist right away. You can go to a friend and make sure when you talk to your friend, you express all the emotions that you have. Lahat ng bad feelings or the excitement that you have, let it all out. But
Yeah.
and then if it doesn't work, you can go to someone who's more trained, like a psychologist. And then if you're not comfortable with them, then you can go to a psychiatrist as well. So you don't necessarily have to go to a psychiatrist right away. Talk to a mental health professional or talk to like a life coach, the one who can push you to do what you want.
Okay. So, yeah, that's very well said. For example, yung mga average sa person na parang kailangan ng coaching. Uh, are you familiar with the pink room?
Peak room, no, I'm not familiar with that.
Yung parang siyang consultation sa mga yung parang gustong psychology, parang medyo mental health daw. Mm. Okay.
Most probably, Nelson, most probably that is a certain group, that support
Mm.
group, that
Mm.
those people who have experienced some this kind of
Oo.
sickness, or do we, is it really safe to call it a sickness or anything, or what is really the right terminology that we could use that would not offend other people also
Oo nga,
experiencing
tama.
that situation?
Oo nga, parang
Um, for people like us, we would like when it's called PWD, we prefer to be called persons with disabilities. So like you can say that we are diagnosed with a certain kind like schizophrenia, bipolar, anxiety, um, all those stuff. So it's better to say that we are diagnosed with it.
Yeah. It would be difficult just to really self define your situation, di ba?
Yes,
You really need a doctor to really define it, or really diagnose it and scientifically, with all those process of evaluations and sharings, and they could
exactly,
really somehow conclude na, oh, okay, Miss Chelsea, you have this kind of situation, and for them also to come up with the proper treatment and proper
exactly.
medication,
And
'di ba?
you're
Kasi
right in
mahirap
sharing
pag,
it.
oo, mahirap pag you just, okay, might be I'm having depression. Can I ask someone that is also experiencing some, might be it could lead them worse situation, di ba? Yan. In your case, Miss Chelsea, what diagnosis of the doctors that are being said to you?
Um, so I was diagnosed in 2010, so that was 12 years ago, right? Yeah, 12 years ago.
Mm-mm.
12 years ago, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So, bipolar disorder meaning that I can go from extreme happiness or extreme sadness. So, the extreme happiness is called the mania, and then the depression is what everyone knows, the depression. So, whenever we like I can go from extreme highs to lows. That's what happens to me. And also I have another disorder that started my what do you call this? My oh, it started from my anxiety. And because
Mm.
in my anxiety I need to let it out. So I used to hair pull a lot. As in totally hair pull talaga. So that's called psychotillomania. And then I also have another disorder. I think it's called histrionic personality disorder. Like need to be I always need attention. Yeah,
Mm.
I always need attention. And another one is also that I always um and yeah, mostly that because depression and anxiety is kind of together. So I'm diagnosed with three things.
Wow, how
Oh.
well,
Paano mo
having
siya
those
hinarap? Paano mo siya tinanggap sa sarili mo noong diniagnose ka ng doktor?
Oh, it was actually very hard it's difficult to be labeled na parang, oh,
Mm.
Chelsea, you have the bipolar kasi it's not familiar. Imagine 10 years ago, I was only like 17 years old. It was so
yeah.
hard. Like no one was talking about mental health. Diba? Only recently lang, maybe a few years before pre-pandemic, that's when mental health started being talked about. So
Mm.
it was
Yeah.
very taboo. No one knew about it. And I had no one to talk to but my dad. So it was very difficult. But the people who are like how was I able to understand and accept it is actually my parents and my family and my friends. I choose only the people who I talk to because I know that only a few will understand me. Some people will always judge or they don't know the right things to say. So that's where the fear of people coming out about disorders kasi they don't want to feel judged. So like what my family does is we spread um the news about being open about mental health because everyone needs help and people are actually scared to talk about it, but it is supposed to be a topic that we need to talk about because we don't
Mm.
know that a lot of people are as in maraming tao magaling sila magtago ng feelings nila. So we need to really understand and express what we feel. Otherwise, we can't help other people. It's like,
Yeah,
Mm.
because if we suppress those feelings na hindi natin nade-define exactly kung ano yun, yun yung mga, 'di ba, maraming suicide dahil
Mm.
in all range of ages, 'di ba? Even young
Hindi
people
na-vent out.
nowadays, 'di ba?
Mm.
Mm.
Achievers, 'di ba? They are achievers. There's no really indications or manifestations that they are experiencing depression or anxiety, but behind at the end of the day, when they're alone, they are really helpless. They are the one people really asking for help, but they could not really speak out because they have this personality that you want to protect or image that you want to protect, or then their names, they don't want to be labeled as somehow associated with this sickness or illness, mental health illness. And
Yeah.
then we
exactly.
notice also
Mm.
a lot of people nowadays really coming out, really talking about it, and it really a very sensitive topic, but at the same time very important to talk about. And Miss Chelsea, how does it affect your life when you personally um, being diagnosed with those specific mental health illness?
Oo. May mga medications ba 'yan? May mga na prescribe ba ng mga gano'ng bagay?
Yeah, I take medicines. I go to a psychiatrist regularly, but it's before it used to be every month, but before it was shortened to like when I'm really in my lowest stages of depression, I go to her like every week. And then sometimes like when I'm getting better, it becomes 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, then a month. And then sometimes they just tell you that oh when you're not feeling okay, that's when you can message me again. So it's like only when needed do I go to a psychiatrist. but I take medicines. Medicines are important because let me make a concrete example. Like why sometimes we cannot take medicines away, and the people who are diagnosed who take medicines, and then when they stop taking meds, they they feel bad again, and parang they go back to depression, or they're having these moments again um that shows what's happening, because it's like having like we have our parents or grandparents who has hypertension or diabetes, right? And every day they need to take medicines for it. If they stop taking medicines, like for example for the diabetes, if they stop taking medicines for it, their sugar is going to spike. It's going to spike up so high,
Mm.
diba? And then the worst case scenario is that they will get sick and eventually they will get hospitalized. So it's the same thing as our medicines, that we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
take it to maintain the levels. Because why is it maintaining the levels? It's the endorphins on our
Endorphins,
hormones.
the
So
hormones.
endorphins, norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, and like oxytocin. So all these hormones are are
Some
unleveled.
kind of having imbalances. Yeah.
Yes, it's
So
having
that
an imbalance. So that's why the medicines is going to make it level. So that's
yeah.
why we need it every day. Oh, and how it affects me every day. It's challenging every day. Na like for example, like if I have like a trauma experience, like for example, anything that's going to remind me of it, it's going to be like a playback in my brain. So
Wow.
when it comes
Nakaka-trigger
to
siya.
playback,
Na
huh?
na is
So,
nati-trigger yung stimuli tapos, ano tawag dito, nasa ano tawag dito, subconscious mind na.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, exactly. So like it triggers, but then like I have to tell myself it's not happening. It's already done. You have to move forward. So it's always a challenge that you have to be mentally strong to handle whatever everyday life happens. Like even in watching Facebook, diba? Even if I don't go out of the house, they always say stay at home. But if you check on Facebook or Instagram and you see mga hugot or stuff, 'di ba? Parang biglang
Mm.
you'll be like, "Hala, naalala ko 'to. Hala, ito nangyari sa akin dati." So
Ay
like
naku,
we
hindi
need to
puwedeng
be
magbasa si Miss
prepared.
Chelsea sa libro ko.
Naku,
Hindi
mapanakit
puwedeng
yung
magbasa
libro
si
ni
Miss
TJ.
Chelsea sa libro ko.
No, I can. Don't worry, because I'm mentally strong. 'Di ba?
Wow, yes.
Kailan yung ano, kailan
Applause to
at
that.
papaano ka nag-start na mag-inspire ng ibang tao na, okay, ito na yung pagkakataon ko na sabihin yung journey ko para makatulong sa ibang tao. Ito yung paraan para hindi nila maramdaman na nag-iisa sila. Kailan
Yeah.
yung stage
Yeah.
mo
Tama.
na gano'n? Paano ka nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob?
My dad because my dad is a mental health speaker, but he actually started as a personality development speaker for like maybe 5 years, and then we started talking about mental health. And then that time I just parang I was undergoing depression, and I was trying to get myself back up again. I was telling myself I need to, like, I was conditioning myself na, okay, Chelsea, you cannot be depressed anymore. You need to do something. You need to keep yourself busy. Like, what can you do? So my dad was having a talk, and then there's my photos. So my dad was having a talk, and then he told me, like, Chelsea, why don't you share a part of your story? So when I shared a part of my story to a small group, I think we were only like 30. My old teacher, my instructor in college, asked me, like, Chelsea, I didn't know that this was happening to you. I didn't know that this was happening to you. Can I invite you to speak to us in our school? So the first time I had a talk was in 2017. Yeah, 2017. I was talking to grade um 10, 11, 12 students. So the whole day I was speaking to them. And then when people other it was also live. So some people, there were parents who were watching, and then even the other schools were had it live. So because of that, they started inviting me, and then that's how I expressed more of my feelings of what happened. So the pictures that are being shown are like my talks, like in UP Manila, in UST, in Batangas State University. So those are a compilation. So this talk right here, that was actually last Saturday. Oh, last
Oh,
Tuesday. Yeah. So this is the most recent talk I've had. Tuesday, March 8th. Yeah.
wow.
What are the common questions, Miss? Most probably those audience that you, the students, the private and public organizations that you naging part ka sa speaker. What are the common questions na mga tinatanong nila? What are those problems that they also experiencing? And how do you parang uplift them in a way that could give them hope pag nasagot yung mga questions na yon? Ano yung mga common questions na yun, Miss Chelsea?
Um, the most common question that is asked is how will you know if a person is undergoing a mental health problem?
Mm,
So the answer to that is that you need to talk to them. A lot of people who have mental health problems, magaling kami magtago. We are very good actors. As in, if you ask us, okay ka lang? We'll say, yeah, okay lang kami. I'm okay. Why? Is there something happening? Ganon. As in, we're always going to say, no, we're okay. Because we all, like what you said earlier, Marlon, na
yeah,
we want to keep a, keep like a, keep a like
yung
a
facade.
image. Yeah, we
Ah,
want to keep an image, a facade that we
Mm,
are strong, because we don't want to people to know that we're weak. So
mm,
whenever if you see people and like you ask them, try to notice how they are. If like with our friends, like in person, our friends, we know exactly how they are. Diba? We're always with them, they have a character, and then biglang you notice na may nagbago. You have, pag may nagbago, that's when you
sudden
need
change.
to ask. Because you have to
Mm,
like ask, and then maybe they will open up. But it will
mm,
take time for them to open up, because like they're trying to figure out na, is this really happening to me? Why is it
mm.
happening? Why is it happening to me? So they're still trying to figure out what's happening. And then like
tama.
even nowadays, since it's all virtual now,
Yeah,
like what I said, each person has a in Facebook or Instagram, everyone will always post the best parts of them. Diba?
Mm,
They're going to show all the good things that they have. So like they're gonna post their beach photos, they're gonna go to show their where they go, if they go to Starbucks, if they go to a beach, if they go to a mall, if they buy new shoes, or if they're hanging out with friends or clubbing. And then biglang you notice that bakit di na siya nagpo-post? And bakit nag-post siya ng quote na related to mental health? Or how come this person posted about, or like tahimik na siya sa Facebook or IG, then that's a sign that you need to check on your friends, because like
mm,
slowly um in Facebook or Instagram, we are expressing what we feel. It's our outlet to express. So
mm.
um you need to read between the lines of each post of a person. So that's how you will know if someone is having a hard time. So they always say, check on your friends, because even the strongest ones need help and needs being checked on. So that's one of the
Yeah.
most common questions that's asked.
Mm. Ako
Mas
yeah.
maganda
minsan meron
lang nga ngayon kasi napag-uusapan na ang mental health na hindi katulad mga years back na kung mag-post ka ng mga tungkol sa mental health issues or kalungkutan mo sa Facebook, sasabihin talaga nila ang arte-arte mo, ang drama-drama mo. na hindi nila alam
Yeah.
na meron kang pinagdadaanan, hindi ka nila kinakamusta. So, mas maganda talaga ngayon na yung nag-i-spread na yung tungkol sa topic about mental health. Kasi maraming mga may silent battles.
Yes, exactly. And whenever we say silent battles, as in, like, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to be kind. It's easy to be kind to people because we don't know what's happening to a person's life experience. Like when I was in high school, I was always so quiet. And then I was so quiet that I don't recite, I don't want to express my feelings, and I'm always quiet lang talaga. And if people are going to fight with me, I don't fight back. I'm just quiet lang. I just ignore them. And then when I started talking about mental health, um my classmates or even the bullies or the other people who doesn't know about what happened to me, they all started to approach me. And they were all telling me like, this is why pala you've been so quiet. I didn't understand. I'm sorry for bullying you. I'm sorry that I did this. Bakit ang tahimik mo dati? They were always like that. So, like, if if only my high school classmates knew that I was going through something, maybe wouldn't be like so I wouldn't
Treated
be treated that way
in a different way. Yeah.
in a way. Yes. But like the title of this talk, it's called from
Turning
turning
breakdowns
breakdowns to
to breakthroughs.
breakthroughs.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for all the bullying that I had in high school, I wouldn't have like depression, and also I wouldn't be here speaking about how I'm able to overcome it. So a lot of things happen for a reason. You just may not understand it at the moment, but in the future you will look back and say like, oh, this is why, this is what happened. So this is the reason why I had to experience that to be who I am today.
And also finding your purpose in life,
Yeah.
that to serve as a voice and also someone that could really bravely talk about this, about mental health awareness, di ba? If you yourself really the one who have this first-hand experience, talaga people would have this connection with you now. Okay, exactly, Miss Chelsea, you are talking coming from your first-hand experiences, and what you're talking exactly the same pain, the same amount of struggles that na experience ko, di ba? Parang gano'n. And you became a very effective speaker. Diba? It's about 50 universities and public and
Wow,
private organizations that she's
dami.
been part of. And continuously every month there's another set of engagements to really share about this mental health awareness. Really, as a person who experienced that, parang ganong situation, di ba? Yun, nakaka-amaze lang, Miss Chelsea, ano, kasi Um, una, what we could notice about you is your bravery, your courage to speak
Mm-mm.
about. Parang you are not afraid to really being labeled. Okay, Miss Chelsea, is there something that's parang ganon, di ba? Mga some negative things to be labeled about sa'yo. But regardless, because you yourself, you know exactly there are a lot of people that you want to reach out. Maraming tao na pwede matulungan. And you use yourself as an instrument na para matulungan sila. Yun, na-amaze lang kami because you presented yourself so calm, so beautiful, and
Mentally strong.
so much passion of sharing that about mental health
Yun,
awareness.
tama. Mm.
Yes, kasing strong ng
Sige.
ating mga sumusuporta sa live na ito, si Peter Bryan. Hi Peter, Tony Rose, si Miss
Yan.
Pamela, si Author Jackie. Nai-inspire sila sa
Yan.
iyong sa iyong guesting ngayong araw na ito.
And guys, if you have questions, you can comment down below and we can ask Miss Chelsea about it might be you're experiencing those kind of
Tama.
experiences. So I think matutulungan tayo ni Miss Chelsea to share about kung paano niya na-recover or paano niya na-overcome yung mga experience na yan.
Ayan. At pwede tayong let's take a break at magbabalik po ang I Speak.
Always connected shouldn't mean always at risk. By now, you've heard of identity theft and the importance of protecting your most valuable assets, yourself and your family. At ID Seal, we know a thing or two about cybersecurity. We combine that knowledge with industry-leading technology. Our thorough surveillance eye goes to the depths of the dark web and sees everything from social security numbers and medical IDs to social media accounts and more. Armed with decades of cybersecurity experience and state-of-the-art technology and tools, ID Seal goes to great lengths to monitor every possible entry point that could compromise your data for you and your entire family. ID Seal provides comprehensive protection for your identity. Protection starts the moment you register with ID Seal. We'll send you alerts and score trackers, and you'll have access to credit reports and scores. Looking to pay off a loan faster? The ID Seal Credit Score Simulator can show you how things may impact your credit score. And if you have children in the household, we will do more to keep them protected with Digital Spy for Children, Child Social Security Tracker, and social media monitoring. Tools and features to keep you aware of threats of cyberbullying, profanity, overly explicit content, and more. With ID Seal, you get 24/7 lost wallet protection. You will have access to a team of specialists that will help you replace the contents of your wallet if it is lost or stolen. And we will work with you to cancel or reissue all documents that were lost. And for extra protection and peace of mind, your ID Seal membership includes identity fraud expense reimbursement insurance coverage of up to $1 million with a $0 deductible. Don't sign up for an ID theft protection service and then wonder if you're really being protected. Put your worry to rest with ID Seal's unparalleled protection that seals off your sensitive data from identity thieves. Our vision is a world where we can all log in, shop securely, check out, and log out, sealed off to the fullest extent possible from the elements out there that intend to do us harm. Give them nothing to steal with ID Seal.
Wow, yan. Galing. So, yan. Yun.
Ikaw na, bro.
Well, ako na. Nagpapasahan eh. Sorry. Nagsasalita. So, yan, ang High Speak Talk Show Live ay hinatid sa atin ng ID Seal at ng Sogo Goods.
Yes,
ID
kung
Seal
gusto ninyong maging maganda sa murang halaga, download nyo lang ang app ng Sogo Goods. Makikita nyo lahat dyan.
Yan. Yung Sogo Goods is an online platform ng e-commerce na pwede kayong bumili ng kahit ano diyan. Yan. Alright.
Saka pwede kayong magnegosyo, no, sa Sogo Goods from zero investment because they have programs.
Wow, hindi ko lang alam yan, bro.
Parang gano'n na. They offer those programs with zero investments para with those people wanting to start their own business, they could help and support for that. Parang gano'n. And parang may continuity din, sustain din yung business nyo kasi their prices are very affordable. And in just a matter of 1 to 3 days, madi-deliver na yung mga orders nyo at your doorstep.
Yeah.
And then yung ID Seal naman, Brother Nelson and also CJ, ano naman yung value ng ID Seal natin?
Yung ID Seal is a computer related protection sa mga devices at mga laptops natin at pati yung accounts natin. So yun yung nararapat na product sa inyo, yung ID Seal. Mag-install lang kayo and then yun. Protected na po ang inyong mga katauhan at ang inyong mga devices po. Yan.
Currently, hindi pa sa available.
Guys. Yes, speaking of protected, guys, ano yung the best way to improve your mental well-being, Miss Chelsea?
The best way, you need to have a positive mindset. Yeah. Positive mindset, hindi positive COVID ha. Okay.
Make it clear.
Positive mindset, okay? Because like honestly, like, being positive, or not even just always being positive, but if you have a good outlook in life and you know where you're headed, or at least you have a aim and a goal that you want to do, then that's where you have all your focus, and whatever distractions that happen to you, or like if ever people are going to tell you, say they're going to tell you like, no, you can't do it, no, you don't. But if you believe in yourself talaga, then that means you will be able to overcome whatever obstacles that will always happen, because
Yeah.
you know where you're going and what you want for your life. Like, and even if you're saying, if you're going to think na I'm young, I'm only like I'm too young, I'm still like a teenager, I
17,
don't know what I
18.
want pa. Yeah, like you don't have to tell yourself na I need to know what to do now. Like even when I was 25, or whatever age I am right now, I'm still kind of confused exactly what I want to do, because I'm not a full-time speaker. I only get talks when I'm invited. Diba? So it's not like that's not my only job. I do other things as well. Like I also bake. I love online selling because um I don't like to be stagnant. I like to do something talaga. So whatever ways, or like whatever things that I can do, I do sell. If people ask me to sell things like perfume, skincare, I would do it. If people want me to help them advertise, I help them too. If they want me to post, I also help them. So whatever that you need to do, you just need to do a lot of things. And then if there's something that you are doing and you don't like it, then you can say na ayoko pala to. I don't like what I'm doing. I will go to the next one. So
Oh.
just continue to do what you think is good for you, and you will learn in the process. In movement,
Oh.
there is a lot of growth. So don't be afraid to do things over and over again, because it's okay for you to make mistakes. It's a part of life. And that's how life is. You just have to move on and move forward, keep moving, keep going. So yeah.
Mm. Yes,
Yeah.
Miss Chelsea,
Positive
meron.
mental attitude.
Yeah. Miss Chelsea, meron lang akong maisingit ah. Oo, kasi kadalasan kasi modern society tayo ngayon, and hindi kasi katulad dati ng scenario na yung tatay lang yung nagtatrabaho. Ngayon, sa modern day ngayon, yung tatay at nanay ang nagtatrabaho. Minsan yung mga bata naiiwan sa bahay, sa kamag-anak, or minsan sa kasambahay or maid. Oo. And I think siguro mayroong mga scenario doon na parang miss nila yung nanay nila or papa nila. Now, uh, in that age can start yung parang may mental health imbalances.
Yes. Mhm. Because they're like when the parents are working, they are
Mm-mm.
longing for they're longing for their parents. Remember in our in our like 8 years old to 12 years old, that's our developmental stage of where
Stage.
we
Yeah.
start our relationships. So
Yeah.
that's like a very important thing. That's why I feel
Very
bad
critical point.
for like the kids nowadays. Like imagine like my daughter is 7 years old, and instead of her going to class and playing with all her classmates, and they're running around with the slide and all, they're all just virtually in front of the in virtually in Zoom na lang. And then
Mm-mm.
like at the end, and then you will hear them say like during classes, they'll be like, teacher, can I talk to my classmates? And then you'll see them, oh hi, look, I have a new cat, I have a new dog, I went to SM, I went here. So like
Ang cute
you'll see
naman.
how much the kids
Oo.
love, like miss going to to classes. So imagine if these are kids missing their classmates, what more for us or kids missing their
Parents.
parents.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So it's really important. So communication is always is the key and also like being consistent, because you can always talk to them, to talk to people, but if you're not consistent with what you do, then that's where it kind of goes unsteady. So you need to keep constant
Mm.
communication, constant trust, constant honesty and respect.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Tama.
so that's how.
I I I would like to acknowledge, Miss Chelsea, yung sinabi mo na ano yan, really how much more if the children really miss out the presence of their parents, no? Because we can see two angles here, di ba, na right now we're talking about those experiences, anxiety and depression, on how to manage it and overcome it and treat it, diba? But somehow, while you're sharing, we see another angle that there must be prevention that our young people or children will not experiencing the same challenges, diba? Yung mga mental health concerns.
Tama.
At their young age, we as parents, we should really make sure that they could really guide their be with their children, samahan nila lalo na sa mga critical age na growing years na from 8 to 12 or even from the infant growing up to 12 because they are developing their personality, their identity, they're really seeking and searching for their own personality, di ba? And identity is very critical. So, dahil sa demand ng work, 'di ba, kailangan magtrabaho,
Pareho, yung
nako-compromise
parents.
yung parents na samahan yung mga ano. Papaano ba 'yon, Miss Chelsea, no? Because this also some very important aspect ng buhay na para hindi sila ma-experience at their adulthood na may mga
Mm.
challenges sa mental health concerns.
Mm.
What do you suggest? What can you recommend to the parents para at least mabantayan nila na mas maayos despite with the heavy demand ng work?
Yes,
um
baka pwede kong isingit ko sa iyo bro ah. Yeah, I will rephrase bro Marlon's question. So, what can you advise to the parents and what can you advise also to the kids na yun currently ganun yung scenario? Kasi I believe family nag-start talaga yung detection yun, within the family yung detection eh. Oo, so yun. What can you advise, Miss Chelsea?
um when you said earlier that it can be detected first by the family, sometimes the family will be the last to know
Oh.
about what's happening to the person, because not all families are close, diba? Some are
Yeah.
some
Tama, tama.
parents and kids don't get along, so who they talk to is actually their friends. So
Hindi
um
nakapag-open up.
yes,
Mm.
exactly. So but what I would advise to the parents is they need to listen, as in listen to their kid. You need to listen to our kids, because like they may be wanting to tell you something, but then they're afraid because baka magalit ka, or baka they'll
Mm.
say na hindi naman siya makikinig sa akin kasi busy siya, may mga deadline siya. So you
Mm.
need to be open to the thoughts of the person. Like if they're gonna ask you like ma, pa, like you need to totally sit down, stop everything that you're doing, and then you need to listen to them. Because if you don't, so parents and guardians, if you don't listen to your kids about their problems, they're going to go to other people and seek for help from other people, and it will make you be the last person to know of what is happening, because you made a wall to them saying na wait lang, I'm still doing something. So you need to actively listen to them. And when you listen to them, you shouldn't judge. Remember, um like there is a lot of generation gap what's happening. If we say na stress tayo sa school, or like stress tayo sa subjects, um if
Yeah.
before it was easy, like not everyone's the same. We all have different stress levels talaga. So if you think your like for example your son or your daughter is getting like a line of 75 or 80, and then if before it was so easy for you, now you get 98, 99, maybe you need to understand na what's happening to my daughter or son? Why is he getting like 75 or 80? Probably there's just too much workload na he cannot
You cannot cope.
Internet ko ba yan o
I think nag-freeze si Miss Chelsea.
na-freeze si Miss Chelsea? Okay, akala ko
Oo.
internet ko.
I think,
Well,
yan nga, yung,
okay.
Ayun,
go
yun.
ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Miss Chelsea. Yeah.
So like we need to understand that everyone has different stress levels. So we need to listen to understand. We need to stop being like judging other people's emotions, because they like exactly that we are expressing our feelings to someone. We want to be heard because we're asking for help because wala na tayo makausap. So you need to listen to someone because it's also a sign of disrespect if you invalidate their feelings. So to you need to be able to validate a person's
The
feelings. Like for
feelings.
example,
Yeah.
sasabihin ko I tell my friend, alam mo, I feel bad na bagsak ako, as in I only got like over 100 points. I only got 48. That some people are typically going to say, 48 ka lang? Eh, malapit ka naman sa ano, you almost passed. Pero in my case, I would have been like I'm like an honor student or what. It has a higher stress for me. So everything is different for each and everyone. Yeah.
Tama, tama.
And for the
Wow.
kids also, you need to learn to um understand that people will always judge you. Exactly what my mom told me before, because in college, sometimes I do um I do things that are not supposed to be done, and then she gets mad at me. And then there was one time she told me na whatever problems I have, I still need to tell her, and she's going to get mad because it's a natural reaction na may ginawa akong masama, and she's going to react. But at the end of the day, she's going to help me overcome what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a natural reaction lang, di ba? Emotions will be like, ha? Bakit? But then at the end of the day, you're the daughter, you're the son, and the people will give advice to you because they love you no matter what. You just have to understand na it's natural lang to react.
Tama, tama naman. Tama naman.
Wow, I love you. I really love the kind of heart that you have, Miss Chelsea, because very have this empathy and really have this um parang to change the perspective that kung ano yung mga pinagdadaanan ng mga children, hindi dapat natin i-judge kasi that's really part of their growing up, and it would help that to listen to them para eventually when they become an adult, meron ng self-esteem na ma-develop sa kanila and also the
Tama, tama.
confidence in them.
Yeah,
And Miss Chelsea,
tama.
for our viewers who have experienced that, kung may pinagdadaanan sila at current point sa buhay nila, anxiety and depression, ano yung kailangan nilang gawin? Ano yung mga steps na kailangan nilang gawin para eventually they will really overcome their concern about mental health?
Mm.
Well, the first thing that you always need to do is you need to accept that you are having a problem. Because diba, like if you don't accept what's happening to you, then you're in denial pa. So you need to first have acceptance, and you need to know
Mm-mm.
na okay, I need help. Because if you're not going to accept, like I always tell my friends who doesn't want to have themselves checked, or if they don't want to talk to the people who are actually giving them a hard time, I tell them, do you want to get better, or do you want to prolong your agony? So I tell them, so you need to accept what's happening to you, and you need to face the problem because you need to get the solution. Because if you are the problem, then you are also the solution. Like, so that's how it's supposed to be. So if you have anxiety and you have depression, you need to talk to the people who are concerned with the situation. And when if it doesn't work, then you can try to talk to someone about it, and then you can seek for professional help. So that's actually like the first step, because that's the steps to recovery. First, you need to accept. Second, you need to listen to what the doctor says, and then you need to follow up with all the prescribed treatment. And then next is you also have to um you need to um get some rest. And remember, when I'm maybe in your Facebook feed, you would always see like healing is different from everyone. Diba? Like if you, for example, you have a heart surgery, they tell you need to rest. It takes longer than having a root canal or having root canal. It's like siguro in like 2 days you feel better na. Mawawalan yung maga. But then if you have heart surgery, it takes time, 'di ba? So you need to rest. The best time that you need to rest. Like when we're at home, you need to just relax, sit back, and enjoy alone time. Because um when you have alone time, that's when you can reflect on what's happening with your life, and you will understand yourself even more. And then the last one is you need to avoid the triggers. Yung mga kung saan nanggagaling lahat ng mga hugot natin. That's what you need to stay away from there. So that's actually what is needed to be done, so that you'll be able to fight your problems.
I'm amazed, bro, amazed, and Miss CJ, amazed ako sa guest natin ngayon, si Miss Chelsea. Kasi, bihira lang yung ganung tao na parang na-accept niya, tapos going through siya, tapos na-overcome niya. Wow, that's amazing.
Punong-puno siya ng wisdom, at bago tayo magtapos, no, gusto kong itanong kay Miss Chelsea kung ano yung universal lesson mo sa buhay.
My universal lesson. Oh, it's like a pageant question.
Yes.
I
Yes,
believe.
yes. Para mapupulutan namin.
If it's my sisters, 3 things come to mind when I think of Miss International, diba? For me, I think it would be na you have to keep going for what you want. Even if there will be a lot of obstacles that will happen, you might not understand why exactly the obstacle is present. But in the future, you'll see na, wow, I was able to do it. I was able to surpass it, and it just made me stronger. So that's what you need to do, because like what I said earlier, everything happens for a reason. You will not understand why, but in the future, you will look back and say na, kaya pala, ito
Yeah.
nangyari sa akin.
Oh, wow. Yes, nice. Ang ganda ng one. Wow. And the winner is...
Ang dami nating lessons na natutunan today from Miss Chelsea, guys, na kailangan sa mga may silent battles, choose to be kind every day, kasi hindi mo alam kung merong pinagdadaanan yung taong yon.
Yeah.
Hindi mo alam kung ano yung battles na kinakalaban niya. Ano man ang estado mo sa buhay, ano man ang sitwasyon mo, choose to be kind, dahil walang matatalo kapag
Always.
ikaw ay naging mabuti. Yun ang aking
Yes.
ano for today.
Yes, always yan. Oo. Yan.
And
Ang
also,
ganda.
ang natutunan ko talaga is really have this kindness, no, to everyone. We should not really put judgment to anyone. Kasi minsan ang pinipili lang natin samahan yung comfortable tayong samahan, or medyo, di ba, kay close natin, kaibigan natin, may anong tawag doon, may something makapag-benefit tayo coming from them. But we really putting people aside, those who have struggles, no. para hindi ma-distract tayo, no? Pero it should not be the approach. Ang nakita ko kay Miss Chelsea is really someone who have this kindness in her heart, the courage also to accept what her experience, ano yung situation niya. And then nakita ko, Miss Chelsea, on how you're so passionate and kind in really spreading the value of mental health. And
Tama.
it really helped a lot. And it changed my perspective also, no? Kasi minsan, siya po, kapatid mo, kaibigan mo, or pamangkin mo, minsan hindi natin nabibigyan ng time because we're so busy in our schedules. But we don't know what they are really exactly experiencing. Ayan.
Ang natutunan ko din bro is from Miss Chelsea is be positive but not COVID but not COVID. So
At saka
kasi
matapang-tapang niya, Nelson.
ang
Mas
tama
matapang pa siya sa
talaga.
kape mo.
Wow! Kape So natutunan ko kay Miss Chelsea is isa din yung what your mind can conceive, your body can achieve. So parang kung positive yung ini-intake mo, so positive talaga lahat. Oo. So yun, maraming
At this
salamat
point,
Miss
Miss Chelsea, we'd like to ask you to really say your parting words to our viewers, and as well also you can also promote anything, your social media accounts or your business, and anything that yung cause mo for mental health awareness.
Pati page, pati now, ano ba yung mga activities mo. Go ahead, Miss Chelsea.
Thank you. So, as part of Mental Health Matters, we actually want to help people. So, Kylie partnered with Consulta MD. Do you have the pictures of that or the video?
Consulta MD.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
MD.
Do you have the slide? So, but
I try to find. Go ahead, Miss Chelsea.
So if with Consulta MD, it is an online platform where you can just call them, you register, and you get a month free, and then you can ask them for medical advice. So for example, you are not comfortable going to a psychiatrist, yes, and you still want to remain anonymous, or you don't even have to be physically present to go to a clinic. You can just go online with your phone and just register in the app Consulta MD. Consulta starts with letter K. So it's Consulta MD. You can find it in your app in your app store. You can register for free. And so that's like the gift that Kylie has partnered with for everyone to have access to mental health professionals. So you can do that.
This one. Yeah.
Wow.
Consulta MD.
Consulta MD.
I don't see anything.
Oh.
Do you
There,
see
yes.
anything, guys?
Yan.
So you can download the app. And when you download the app, that's how you'll just follow the instructions and you'll just have to wait for your turn and a professional will be there to help you. Yes. So that is what we do. And if ever you do need help, you can join our support group. Just type in Mental Health Matters Support Group by Kylie Verzosa. I think you guys can put it in the link.
Sure.
So Mental Health Matters Support Group by Kylie Verzosa. You can just it's in Facebook, so you just have to add, you just have to click it, and then you have to answer 3 questions, like if you are diagnosed, when were you diagnosed, and why do you want to join the support group, and then we will accept you. Currently, we have about 6,700 members, and it's a community where you can actually vent, and people are very kind. They are going to help you. So what you see right now on the screen is our page, but you just have to type in the word support group and that's where you can join the community of mental health. So everyone there is very kind, they're non-judgmental. You can express your feelings, and sometimes we even have get-togethers. So it's a community where you don't have to feel alone because we're all here for you. So if you think na nahihirapan ka, others are also having a hard time, but we are all here to support one another.
Wow, ang
Wow.
ganda ng advocacy ni Miss Chelsea.
And Kylie, yes,
Miss
my
Chelsea
sister
and Miss
too
Kylie.
started.
Wow. A round of applause. So maraming salamat Miss Chelsea and sa lahat ng mga learnings na naibigay niyo sa amin at maraming salamat din sa mga viewers at mga nag-comment sa comment section. Yun.
Go ahead.
Nakalimutan. Sige, go ahead, bro.
Kaya, and thank you so much, Miss Chelsea, for your time that you have shared with us with our in I Speak Talk Show and also sa mga viewers natin. No? We learn a lot and also change our perspective about the mental health. No, and we become more kinder person at this point, and we will really promise no na we will be really try to listen to anyone that we will notice na may mga pinagdadaanan. Thank you as well sa our viewers natin for their time that they have spent to us tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you din sa ating mga brand sponsors that
Idesil at
to
So
bring
Go
your-
Good. Yan.
At maraming salamat kay Miss Pam na nagpakilala sa atin, kay Miss Chelsea na super duper ang na-share ngayon na inspirasyon sa atin at mga tips at sa ating mga viewers. By the way guys, yung replay po ng episode na ito ay mapapanood din po sa YouTube channel ng I Speak.
At malalagay po natin sa ating podcast. Yan. Yan. Maraming salamat guys. Maraming salamat Miss Chelsea.
Thank you, Miss
At
Chelsea.
yun, maraming salamat sa mga nanonood and maraming salamat din sa nakitambay. Ayun. Magpapaalam muna yung I Speak at magkikita tayo muli. Ayan, sa susunod na episodes.
Okay, goodbye to all and thank you so much. See you next week for another episode. Miss Chelsea, God bless you and more
God
power.
bless you. Stay healthy po.
God bless you, Miss Chelsea.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Hanggang sa muli guys. Alam.
Heavenly God, thank you very much for this day and opportunity. We are able to express ourselves as well as our guest. Thank you for the gift of life, talents, family, friends, as well as obstacles, struggles, because you made us stronger each day. Please continue to guide and enlighten us through each day. We glorify you always, God. Amen.